News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Environment Department has launched an investigation into a liquid waste spill along the Manila Bay. Secretary Roy Cimatu warns that the ship involved could face fines for violating the Marine Pollution and Clean Water Act. Shyla Francisco with the story.
The Environment Department and the Philippine Coast Guard are looking into a possible oil spill in Manila Bay. In this video taken by ESME TV Co last Saturday, yellowish water is seen flowing from a ship docked near the Manila Yacht Club all the way to the shore. Upon ocular inspection, the Coast Guard found that the liquid waste came from the cooling system of MV Sarangani. Up to 1 kilometer of the bay was affected, as estimated by the DNR. DNR's Manila Bay Coordinating Office has taken water samples from the area to be examined by the Environmental Management Bureau.
Naalarma ako nung nakita ko nga yung boat na paikot-ikot dyan na lumalabas. Hirap na tayo rito dahil dyan sa mga tagas lang dyan. Binubuting-ting natin yung because we are measuring the quality of the water. We are really very serious on that. Kung may penalty, they have to be penalized.
Cimatu warns that the discharge alone violates the Marine Pollution Act and Clean Water Act. The owner of MV Sarangani could face a fine of 10,000 to 200,000 pesos per day and will be mandated to shoulder the rehabilitation of the polluted area. Ship owner Emil Neri says they are ready to face penalties. However, he doubts that the liquid waste came from the vessel's septic tank, as they do not discharge wastewater unless they are dry docking. Instead, Neri attributes the waste to the recent typhoon.
Lahat po ng dumi pumunta po dito nung Saturday and Friday. Kaya po nakunan ito ng Saturday na nagpaandar, parang may mga nakakalat na gumagano doon. Siguro pa baka yung tubig po at saka yung current, iba pa. Kung ano lang po yung pinasok mo sa makina na water, yun din po yung ilalabas niya. Wala po siyang ibang pagpupuntahan eh. Cooling system lang po siya.
But the Manila Bay Coordinating Office disagrees.
Lumulutang lang siya, hindi siya natutunaw, hindi siya nadidilyot, hindi nadidissipate ng alon. So, ganun siya, umiikot-ikot lang. So, yung sinasabi ng may-ari na posible ay galing sa bagyo, ay pinapabawalaanan po namin dahil maliwanag yung mismo footage, noong drone na talagang lumalabas sa exhaust ng ship.
The DNR is set to wrap up within 2.5 kilometers from the shoreline.
In other news, One News is identify and focus on areas number of severe
or less in 1 week. It's very hard to do suggestions if you don't have full transparency in terms of reporting. And if you do better reporting, then you can refocus your efforts on certain categories, on certain geographical areas that need more help.
Let's check out some other stories we're keeping our eyes on. American pharmaceutical company Moderna has applied for emergency use of its COVID-19 vaccine here in the country. Philippine ambassador to the United States, Babes Romualdez, earlier said that Moderna can deliver 200,000 doses by June 15 as part of the 20 million dose deal signed back in March. The Health Department maintains that receiving COVID-19 vaccines should be purely voluntary, especially since the jabs are still under development. This comes after Cavite Representative Elpidio Barzaga Jr. filed a bill seeking to make COVID-19 vaccination mandatory among qualified Filipinos. And the Armed Forces reports that 10 Abu Sayyaf members and supporters turned themselves over to the government in Holos, Sulu. Authorities recovered assault rifles and components of improvised explosive devices from the surrenderers. Climate activists are calling on the Brazilian government to stop treating environmental groups as enemies of the state. More details on that movement in this report by Bloomberg.
My name is João Henrique. I'm Brazilian. I'm based in Curitiba and I work as a climate activist. I've been to Amazon once in my life, working in a place called Tapajós. I live in the area of Mata Atlântica. It's the biome with the most impact so far because it was the first one colonized it. I think all the struggles are connected because the main source of the violence is the same, which is the agriculture, the livestock, and soy plantations, big monocultures, but also mining in the Amazon. The leadership of those environmental groups is changing because 10 years ago they were all mostly white people from the middle class, and right now we are getting more attention and more importance to the indigenous communities and traditional communities in Brazil being in the leadership of environmental groups with a more focus on social environmental justice.
In Brazil, the traditional community lands are the ones who have the lowest rates of deforestation, and most of this land doesn't have legal protection. Not only the conservation it's not secured, but the communities are not secured as well. And since they are in this gray space, the loggers, the mining, the farmers are using violence against the traditional communities. To give ownership, legal ownership to the communities would be a really just way to make a historical reparation with those communities and also to help lower our emissions.
We can't talk about environmental justice if we don't tackle the inequalities. And the favelas are places that highlight how unequal our country is. We have this shift between the leaders of the environmental groups. It's the same thing with the favelas. People are getting engaged with the environmental movement. We had elections last year, needed to commit to the climate agenda, and my candidate is committed to the climate agenda, so different cities. I've been working almost for 10 years on activism. The first approach that I had was with the cyclist movement. Every day a cyclist gets killed in Brazilian cities. The cyclists are considered enemies of the drivers. And also this highlights the inequality because here in Brazil, the people who use public transport are the ones who can't afford a car. The current federal government considers civil society and environmental groups as enemies of the state. There's not a beautiful way to say that. We won't have agriculture in 20 years if we keep on this same approach. So we need to show that there's other kinds of economy who are strong with the forests up and not down.
For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.